everyone, we're in the HIVE marquee and the Crude Oil Mechanicals are just about to start their street theatre, so bear with us a while we're setting up.
Come sit down because we've got a performance from the Crude Oil Mechanics in a while. No, in a little bit.
Over in the corner we have Divest East Sussex, who are going to be talking after Crude Oil Mechanical, and quite often they work in conjunction with each other. You might have seen them at the town hall doing street activism. Meanwhile, just have a look around the HIVE. We've got quite a few banners up. A lot of people milling around. Got honey here in the corner. We've got the Extinction Rebellion trade unionists. Very good work. Friends of the Greenpeace. Unite community! They get everywhere. That's my union. Youth Strike, People's Assembly, of course. Here we've got the Eco Fashion Corner, sponsored by Age Concern. There's been a heck of a lot going on, folks. But you're in for a treat with the Crude Oil Mechanicals now. Well, looked like they were starting. Little bit of a hold up.
Where do they come from?
In there, I think.
No, what are they from Eastbourne?
No, Lewes.
Okay.
Lewes, and you quite often see them at the St Anne's Town, like that place, because the Divest over there, East Sussex, they're all about divesting the pension funds.
Okay.
And I think Crude Oil Mechanicals have really done quite a few kind of street theatre based on that.
Lewes has always been a green town. It's the originally it was the foundation. You're recording this, aren't you?
I am. I'm live. You're live.
I've got a BBC voice, so be careful.
Well, we better use you then. You can be our MC next
You're
year.
very kind.
Yeah. This is Ian Turner. He really good, solid socialist.
Anarchist.
Yeah. Anarchist. Carries a Cuban flag all over the on his annual walk. Yeah, all over the downs. It's fun. Right. Sorry about this hold up, folks. There we go. A little bit of a meeting going on. But while we're out here, you might as well see the stalls. Loads of them. Main stage down there. More stalls here. We've got a lovely area out here for hay bales and socialising. And I've got to show you this. This is our donation bucket. We need donations.
Okay, we have a small change in the programme right now. The Crude Oils will perform after the Divest talk. So here they are now.
Alright. Okay, let's divest first, folks. Change of plan.
I'm Arnold, and back in 2014,
You might need to get the mic a bit nearer.
way back in 2014, I went to a talk by the author of a book called The Burning Question, which you may have heard. And this was a revelation to me. It was a revelation as to what the fossil fuel industry was doing to this planet. Perhaps the main reason we're not seeing the rapid, far-reaching and unprecedented changes in all aspects of society that we need. And what the IPCC, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, says is needed if we're to avert climate catastrophe. Right. Is the power of the fossil fuel industry. Indeed, according to the climate scientist Michael Mann, the truth is, if we took the disinformation campaign funded by the fossil fuel industry out of the equation, the climate problem would have been solved decades ago. And these efforts by the fossil fuel industry to obfuscate continue today. I'll just give you some examples. Since 2015, Exxon, Shell, Chevron, Total and BP have together spent over $1 billion on misleading climate change, climate-related branding and lobbying. What is their aim? Their aim is to undermine the Paris Climate Agreement. And that's why this year the world's most senior diplomat, the Secretary General of the United Nations, Antonio Guterres, said this: we seem trapped in a world where fossil fuel producers and financiers have humanity by the throat. For decades, the fossil fuel industry has invested heavily in pseudoscience and public relations with a false narrative to minimize their responsibility for climate change and undermine ambitious climate policies. They exploited precisely the same tactics as big tobacco did decades before. Like tobacco interests, fossil fuel interests and their financial accomplices must not escape responsibility. Now, I don't know whether any or all of you have seen a recent program on BBC Two called Big Oil versus the World. If you haven't seen it, have a look at it. That exposes what the fossil fuel industry have been up to for 40 years. Although they knew, their scientists knew, they brought out a report, they knew what the damage was going to be. And instead of publishing this report, they've just lied and lied and lied. So have a look at that program.
Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay, wonderful. So Arnold's just outlined what the problem is. The problem is the fossil fuel industry and its power. So the question then comes, well, how do you undermine that? What can we actually do? There is a proven strategy for trying to tackle such for trying to tackle. Just take it off.
Yeah.
I feel like Elvis now. There is a proven strategy for undermining such sectors. So when you've got a big sector of companies like this, and that is divestment. So what does that mean? That means you get institutions, pension funds, universities, philanthropic funds, etc., to come out and make a public commitment to ditch their investments in those companies. So you saw this over South Africa and apartheid, where there are universities across the US and other institutions across the world would say, we are going to stop investing in the companies that are investing in South Africa. And since 2011, there has been a global divestment campaign across the world of institutions coming out and saying, we are going to stop investing in fossil fuels. Now, how does that help? Because you sell the shares to someone else has got the shares. The point is not shifting, shuffling the shares. The point is what they call stigmatization. It's about undermining what is the social license to operate for these companies. So these companies depend upon you and I and everybody thinking they are responsible corporate citizens, and not rogue companies which are trying to drive us off the edge of a cliff. That's why if you go up to London, you go to the British Museum, you will see exhibitions sponsored by BP. That's why if you open New Scientist, you used to see adverts from BP and Shell about the great stuff, and Exxon telling you what great stuff they're doing about the climate and climate solutions, etc., etc. Now that's all greenwash, but the reason they do that is because they know that they depend upon it not being recognised what's actually going on. So what we need to do is we need to remove that social licence to operate from them. We need to make it clear that there's a huge problem here and that needs to be legislated against. So these companies are wrong enough to legislate against. So if we go back to the Paris Climate Agreement, it's going to require the emissions from the oil and gas industry to basically be halved over the next decade. And at the moment, they're still increasing, and they're planning on digging more and more of this stuff out of the ground and burning it. So we need to turn that around. So since 2011, over 1,500 institutions around the world, including some very big ones like the New York City pension funds, 6 local authority pension funds here in the UK, University of Cambridge, Harvard University, have made such commitments to divest from fossil fuels. Collectively, those institutions manage something like $40 trillion worth of assets. So this is not a few mom and pop stores, it's big stuff. And as I say, there's a proven track record of such campaigns winning legislation. So what we need is we need governments to step in and basically regulate these companies, rapidly phase them out of existence. So now Arnold is going to come and tell you how this relates to here in East Sussex.
So we move from the world stage to East Sussex, and that's where Divest East Sussex comes in. The East Sussex County Council has tens of millions of pounds invested in local people's pensions in fossil fuel companies, and we want to get them to take that money out of fossil fuels, and we've been trying, as I mentioned when I started, for 8.5 years. So we've had a long, sustained and lively campaign. I call it lively. What we do from our point of view is quite fun, but with an obviously serious intent. And I'll give you some examples of what we've been doing. We staged what we call an Attenborough Inn. We had a 14-foot puppet of David Attenborough outside the council property. We also staged a mock wedding, a wedding between council and fossil fuel companies. We've marched through the streets of Brighton in American revolutionary dress. Our slogan, no pensions without representation. We encircled County Hall, where the council meets, with climate crime scene tape, and we held a big noise protest. That was just a couple of weeks ago. We made one hell of a noise, and we dragged a 20-foot boat, the Greta Lightship, up the streets of Lewes to the council property. We've also gone on a personal basis. We've gone door to door with a petition about two of the decision makers, two of the Tories. On the council pension committee, there are 5 members, 3 Tories and 1 Green, 1 Lib Dem. And so we cannot get through anything on climate change. And so our activities are aimed to publicise the situation and embarrass these members, and believe me, they are embarrassed You can see the steps they've taken to try and counteract what we do. So we are getting to them. But it's a hard thing to do. Earlier this month, the committee met again. They talked about divest again, and they voted against divesting yet again. And one of the councillors, one of the Tory councillors, had the cheek to suggest that the problem could be solved by simply rebranding fossil fuel companies as energy companies in transition.
Okay, so you've heard what the problem is. The problem is the fossil fuel industry. You've heard one way in which we can tackle it, which is through successful divestment campaigns. You've heard how this relates to East Sussex. We've got the East Sussex pension fund sitting there as the, investing over £20 million of local people's pension monies in these fossil fuel companies that are driving the climate crisis. So how can you be part of that? I hear you cry. Okay. Thank you. Slightly off cue. Okay. So first of all, I'm going to invite anybody who wants to be kept in contact with the campaign, which is always doing stuff. We've got a sign-up sheet. I'm going to hand that to you. I'm going to put a pen there. If you can pass that round. If you want to sign up now. Second thing is, I'm going to invite everybody. So Arnold has just said, there are these 3 Tory councillors here who have just effectively voted not to, well, they have just voted not to divest from fossil fuels about 10 days ago. And it would be great if they all received some postcards from you lovely people over the next couple of days, basically. We know that 2 of them are feeling quite jittery. So Paul Redstone, who's the councillor for Northern Rother, in the meeting he said, I don't want to have a vote on divestment because if we do, it looked like I'm voting against it. Well, yeah, it will, because you just voted against it. If you don't want to look like you're voting, if you don't want to look like you're voting against it, then don't vote against it. Vote for it. After the divestment vote, people started emailing him to say, we're very disappointed that you voted not to divest from fossil fuels. And he said, I didn't do that. It's on the webcast. You can see it. The recording is there. There's no ambiguity about this. So I think it would be great if you received 20 or 30 postcards from you lovely people. Something very simple. I'm going to suggest, I'm going to hand out these postcards. So if you hand those round, and I've got some pens here, so if you haven't got a pen, maybe take those pens as well. I'd like the pens back if I can.
Yes. So, some of you listening will know about the Divest East Sussex campaign. Fantastic campaign. They put so much pressure on the pension committee at the East Sussex County Council, and eventually they will win. So do join in. They're always calling on people to send off whenever there's a meeting, they ask you to send off an email, go to the meetings, put pressure on the councillors there. So please support them. That's Gabriel there, handing out the postcards.
Not to divest from fossil fuels. He looks like the most jittery of the 3. So yeah, that's my suggestion. Dear Councillor Redstone. So yeah, this is a very important point. So these decisions are taken by 5 county councillors, 3 Tories, a Lib Dem and a Green. The Lib Dem and the Green both voted for divestment, and the 3 Tories, Councillors Redstone, Holland and Fox, voted against. But I'm going to suggest you all send a card to Councillor Redstone today, if you'd like to do that. So yeah, I'm going to leave the box up here.
Wow.
So don't worry about the address. We'll stick that on for you. See you. Anyway, thank you very much.
Councillor Redstone's going to have a lot of material to read.
Window posters about the campaign with some more information.
We're just waiting for the Crude Oil Mechanicals Street Theatre to go in there. They support Divest East Sussex a lot, and they're going to be performing. Hi. Hi. Hello. In fact, I think it's happening now.
presenting the Crude Oil Mechanics, a street theatre group formed from members of Extinction Rebellion Lewes and other people concerned about the climate and ecological crisis. They are all taking time off from their day jobs and nightlives commitments to pursue the aim of bearing witness to the truth of what is happening to all of us.
Yeah, that's right.
Everybody here? Yes, yes. Come on. Are you all right there? Okay. Hello, everybody. I hope you've been enjoying all these worthy speeches that you've been hearing up till now. Can you all hear me? Yes. Oh, good, good. I just want you to know that, of course, the government is very involved in the energy industry and doing a huge amount to move the industry forward. Let me briefly introduce myself. I am Rowley Jenkins. I represent Her Majesty's government. But we are here because we are very keen to show the people with full transparency the impartial way we allocate subsidies in the energy industry.
Hypocrisy.
So, we are going to have a tug of war between the renewables on the one hand and the fossil fuels to see who really deserves the government subsidies. I think that's rather a good way of deciding, don't you? And make no mistake, there is a lot to play for here. Because our current champions, the fossil fuels, between 2016 and 2020 have received £13.6 billion in subsidies and mainly tax breaks.
Hey! Those oil companies are so rich! Why do they need subsidies?
And I think that's rather wonderful, don't you agree?
No!
Anyway, without further ado, let me introduce you to the contestants. First of all, Lord Oil. Come on, Lord Oil. An old favourite. You've done us proud over the years. Lord Oil, tell us, why do you think the government should be giving you subsidies?
Hello, dear friends. You know me. I keep the economy going to create prosperity for you, all through cheap petrol and diesel.
What? What's so cheap
With
about
my
it?
aviation fuel, I make sure you can get your well-earned holidays in the sun. We all love speeding along in our own big fast car, preferably a big 4x4.
Boo!
I want to give you all the good things in life, and we will be totally carbon free by 2050.
Oh yeah? No!
Something for everyone. Can I have your support, people of Eastbourne?
No.
Oh, why not lower your petrol prices if you love us so much?
Lord Oil.
So busy making a fat profit.
Lord Oil, what do you say to your detractors?
I'm easily misunderstood.
Oh yeah.
Do get in touch, any of you. I'd love to tell you about my investment plans for your green future. Maybe I could take you to a dinner somewhere nice.
Corruption.
Oh, if I'm busy, I have a lot of charming lobbyists to entertain you. What's your bag? A day's cricket at Lord's? A ticket to Centre Court, Wimbledon?
Bribery! Bribery! His lobbyists are everywhere!
I think that's
Don't
very
sell
generous,
out
don't
to
you
him.
think? Thank you, Lord Oil. And now, let me introduce you to Lady Gas. Let me introduce you to Lady Gas. Lady Gas. Oh,
I'm so sorry I'm late. I've just been negotiating a new deal for fracking. Now the government is rethinking. I think that's so exciting, don't you?
No.
Oh, hang on. Do you really want your water polluted?
welcome, Lady Gas.
Ah, thank you. I love coming into your homes and keeping you warm and cooking you really hot meals. Ah.
And what do you say to your critics, Lady Gas?
Well, I'm so clean. I'm so convenient. You love me.
What about all the global warming she causes?
Lady Gas, you are certainly clean and most fragrant. You're welcome to come into my home and keep me warm any time. But anyway, thank you for that. And now, for the renewables.
Oi!
Oh,
Not me!
no,
King Cole!
not now, Lord Cole. Can you just...
Can I have the mic? So, I'm too dirty for you now, am I?
Yes.
This lot, oil and gas, they're just as dirty as me and give off as much carbon dioxide as I do. And I'll tell you, we're all trashing the climate, we're all destroying the environment. As long as we're getting our dividends and profits, it's all that matters, isn't it? That's all there is.
No.
Profits, dividends. I know about them. And I'll give you a little history lesson at the same time. It was coal, that's me, coal, King Cole. I powered the factories that built the ships that enabled us to sail across the seas to far off lands. And what did we do? We created the British Empire. Remember the British Empire?
Yeah,
a time when the map was coloured pink. It was all ours. Oh, just wait a minute, will you? All gone now. But we can take control. We can take control, and we will be great again. I think a salute to the old British Empire on that one. Jobsworth, government Jobsworth, we'll give it back to him now. Go on. You got something to say? You want it?
Thank you, Lord Cole. He's a lovable old rogue, isn't he? We all secretly love King Cole, don't we? He's a bit embarrassing at times, but and it's true. We do hope to be opening a coal mine in Cumbria when no one's looking, because you know how this government has always loved coal miners.
Yeah.
So, anyway, time to move on. Let me introduce you to one of our other contestants, Electricity. Come on, Electricity. Come over here. Electricity, you've changed teams, haven't you? What's that about?
Come over here, Electricity. Join us.
Electricity, a renewable, that's political correctness gone mad!
Electricity, what happened? I thought we had such a good relationship.
Oil, it's over. We're finished. You told me you would change. You kept talking about 2050. But I'm fed up with all the mess you leave behind you. All the destruction you've done in the Niger Delta. All those people's lives you have wrecked. You said that you were concerned about people's future, but you're not. All you're concerned about are your profits, your disgusting profits in petrol, and all those people's lives, they're sinking into poverty.
Hooray!
So, people of Eastbourne, what do you think about me?
Very nice.
I have changed. I have some new friends that are going to make all your lives better. Here is some! endless power. Ignore me at your peril. I can heat your homes and grow your food if you'll cooperate with me. And meet my beautiful friend, Wind. The three of us will make so much difference to your lives. With subsidies, government subsidies, we will improve all your lives even more. And my two friends generate so much excitement and electricity and joy and energy. It makes me explode with all the possibilities.
Yes, that was a little bit exciting. But I'm going to keep my feet firmly on the ground, though, because when it comes to it, have they really got what it takes with the wind and the sun? Yeah! I don't know. The only thing is the tug of war to prove who deserves government subsidies. Come on, everybody. Come on, fossil fuels. Come on, renewables. Take up the rope. Take up your places. I hope you've got room there. You might have to head off into the crowd a little bit there. Have you got room? Would you be able to move up there a little bit? So, sir, do you think you could move around this way, move over there, and we could maybe, someone could just fold up that chair there? Thank you. Yes, that's good. You've got a little bit more lovely, lovely. A bit more
room
space.
to create havoc.
You're all right there, but yes, lovely. Okay. No, don't. I hope those dogs aren't savage. Okay, now here's a line. Right. Take up the slack. And heave.
Everyone's joining in.
I see a speck of dust on the rope. You must not have dust on the rope. Excuse me. Oh!
Hi! Did you see that? Corruption! Trickery!
Bad luck, the renewables. But of course the fossil fuels are still champion. Thank you everyone for being present at this transparent democratic demonstration. What? That, just a minute, that is a very serious accusation. So, just to prove that this was totally fair and above board, we will have a rerun, round 2, and you will see. And I'm a bit concerned about, the audience participation is all very well, but there's health and safety to be considered.
But David's not here.
I'm sorry. We cannot. This is a fair fight between the renewables and the fossil fuels, and they're all joining. No, we are not. No, we are not going to run this contest unless you communists put the road down. Well, you had that look about you, sir. No, we are not proceeding. I'm sorry. Look.
Is Mr. Cole's name Nat?
Well, I don't understand what you're saying, sir. It's some local dialect, I'm sure. But listen, of course, if we have to just not have a rerun, it will remain with the fossil fuels. So, but thank you for your enthusiasm for democracy. Oh, that was a narrow escape, wasn't it? Very feisty, these Eastbourne people. Okay.
It's on that memory stick.
Take up the slack. And I'm watching you. And heave.
Come on, rebels! Come on, rebels! Come on!
I'm just going to check that none of the Eastbourne people are interfering. Is anyone interfering?
Talking liar!
Well done, the challengers. That is a very serious charge. I will have you know that I uphold the high standards of Her Majesty's government. Known throughout the whole world for their honourable behaviour. Yes, you see, the fact is, the people of this country, outside of this tent, and I don't know how you got in here, but they know that the electricity and with the sun and the wind, they haven't got what it takes. You see, they know we need the raw power of the fossil fuels to make this country great again. Oh, you didn't know. It goes down very well in some towns, but okay. Can we edit that on the film? Oh, it's a live event, isn't it? Okay. Well, no. Of course, I remain impartial, but we will have a rerun just to prove that this government is fair and above all suspicion.
Rubbish.
Step up to your marks, take up the slack, and heave. I've just seen a spot of dust. I've just seen a spot of dust. Can you no. Sorry, there is dust. Dust on the roof. I don't believe this is happening. It seems the renewables have won. You'll have to go to adjudication, of course. You seem rather pleased about it. Yes. Well, do you really want the government to stop investing in oil companies, finding more and more oil to get out of the ground? Do you really want them to subsidise new renewable energy?
Yes!
But what?
Of course they do! They really want to live!
What sort of world do you want? Do you really want a world where people's welfare is put before profit?
Of course they do!
What a very odd bunch you are.
They want to stay alive!
I will feed that information back to the government. Anyway,
we're busy.
I suppose all it remains now is for me to thank the contestants. Come on, you can get up, you bunch of losers. Get up, you. Come on. So first of all, thank you. You've really charged us up their electricity. Thank you very much. And for electricity, and for the wind, and for the sun. And now, for the fossil fuels. They'll be back next year, bigger and stronger. You love them, really. And thank you very much, people of Eastbourne, for participating a little bit too vehemently in this democratic experiment. Thank you.
Well, everyone, I had to get that on film. So get yourself down here. We've still got the afternoon to go. This is Jack, by the way.
Hello.
He's one of the event organisers.
Make sure you come on down.
Yep, come on down. He's been looking after us. But that was wonderful, wasn't it? So we've got, who have we got now? There's still a few more acts on and presentations on. You're very welcome to join us. We've got, at the moment, we're going to have Mosmal talking about Bangladesh tree planting. Then we've got a Vesco Community Energy. Then at 2 o'clock, we've got Jack Black Strat Molasses, which is a really good group. Then we got the wonderful Gather Community Garden Talk with Dave Parsons. I don't know if they do the Gather Church. They're wonderful people. Then we got Greenpeace. Then we got Vegan Society. Then we got the wonderful word of oyster mushrooms with fungi. Then we got Just Stop Oil. So there's loads and loads and loads. Even if you've missed the other 2.5 days, you get yourself down here, and we'd love to meet you. And we're rocking and rolling because we're going forward with setting up a climate hub in Eastbourne. This is just the start of it, folks. See you soon.